Excited to be back with the founder and CEO of the Spa Business Coach. That's right, Erin MacNeil joining us here again as the lead strategy coach who supports med spa beauty business owners all over the world to help you become financial literate in your business and implement systems to help your operations run smoothly and, of course, in turn, increase revenue. Erin, pleasure to have you back here, hailing live from, is it Toronto today?
It is. Thank you so
Yay!
much.
Well, pleasure
Always
to
love
have you
chatting with you.
back. Same
Thank
here,
you.
the spabusinesscoach.com. That's the website. And you just got back from a very important conference in Dallas, Texas. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure thing. Yeah, I was just at a conference for 4 days in
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, which is called Aesthetic Next. So if you have
Oh,
a med spa or an aesthetic practice, it is put on by Aesthetic Record, which is essentially a software company. But this conference, what I loved about it and why I'm going every year is that there are different tracks that you can attend. So if you are an injector or you are an esthetician, medical esthetician, they have a clinical track where you can take workshops and attend talks of what I would say are the top industry leaders who are putting these on. I
yeah.
mean, like, these are people who have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers, and their practices are very big, and they travel all over the world and the country to teach. And so there's also a business track. So I had the pleasure of being part of faculty this year, and I was speaking and talking all about how we make
Ah,
more and stress less. So, exactly what you mentioned is really leaning into helping them understand their numbers, being financially literate when it comes to KPIs and metrics, understanding a smoother operation so that you can grow your revenue.
amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. It's got to be exciting to do a little traveling here and there. But this is your busy season, right? What do you call it? Quarter four?
So yeah, this is Q4 going
Q4,
into
that's it.
the fourth quarter. Yeah. So, we break up that year into first, second, third, fourth quarter. And for the business that we are in, the beauty industry, and I think for a lot of businesses as well, it's just a very busy time of year. And it's for, kind of two major reasons. I think one of them is that a lot of consumers, when we talk about the beauty industry,
Yeah.
a lot of consumers are kind of taking stock of their goals and going, I really wanted to finish this year feeling a certain way, looking a certain way, taking care of myself. But also, the other reason why it's really busy is because people are taking vacations. There's lots of celebratory holidays from October to the end of the year that people are going to be taking a lot of photos, a
Yeah.
lot of video, attending them, and they want to look and feel their best. And so, for us in the beauty industry, this is a huge opportunity to double, if not triple, your revenue from other quarters. So, most beauty businesses, and I would say med spas and aesthetic practices, make a bulk of chunk of revenue in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, it's busy season's coming up, so we have to prepare.
'Tis the season. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, what did you have in mind for us today? And this is like the hot time of the year. Like, look at my skin. It's getting so pale. I'm dying to get back into that med spot to start getting all the services that I need for the downtime seasons. And this is where it's really popular.
Yeah, 100%. And so, whether you're a beauty business owner or you own a restaurant or you own,
Hmm.
some other kind of business, the fourth quarter for many businesses, again, even if you're a dentist, like imagine how many people are like, oh, geez, it's the last few months of the year. I
Yeah.
didn't even get a cleaning yet, or like I'm
Yeah.
due for my. So, I think a lot of businesses, they do get busy. And so, what we teach and how we do our coaching is really around, as I mentioned, those three major pillars: financials, operations, and team development. And so when you're looking at the fourth quarter, a lot of our clients are asking us, okay, what do I focus on?
Hmm.
How am I going to make the most money in the fourth quarter? What do I have to look at? What do I have to prepare for? So here's some things that I want any business owner to be thinking about. And certainly when I was a corporate spa director, these things right now in September, that would be the time that one, we are reviewing budgets for next
Okay.
year. That's
Okay.
a big one, right? So if
Yeah.
you have some big purchases you want to make for your business, now is the time that you start to look at some of that historical data from this past year, how much money did we make? What was our revenue? How did our business actually function? So that we can start to plan our spending for next year. So let's say Q1 in 2025. We
Mm-hmm.
start now to budget for maybe you need a new software.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to add Shopify to your website. Maybe you have to buy new equipment or
Yep.
some of those bigger purchases where you want to actually start to review that now and not just rely on, okay, I'm going to look at it in January. This is important because when
Yep.
we look at Q4, you are going to be making a lot more money. And if you have big purchases coming up, this will be something that is fueling the actions that you take in the fourth quarter to make sure that you've really locked in that profitability to have a capital expenditure budget for
Yep.
the following year. So that's number one that I always did as a corporate director is like in September, we're looking at budgets and what do we need to purchase for next year so we can help plan what our goals will be for the fourth quarter. So that one's really,
Amazing.
really big because a lot of businesses, if you're smaller or you're not really looking at budgets, this is where you can get into some trouble where maybe you're overspending and you're not really tracking it. And then, when you look at your bank account, we call this bank account
Yes.
accounting, right? Where
Uh-huh.
you're running your business based on whatever's in the bank account, which is not the best
The best
strategy
way,
whatsoever.
but we do it, but we've done it. I get it. I
I think
get
a
it.
lot of people do that in their personal life as well, right? It's
Yep.
like, well, can I afford it? Well, let me just check my bank balance, right? And even then, sometimes it's just, let me check my credit card balance. So we always love to encourage people in the month of September, review your budgets, which also means you want to review what have I done in terms of performance this year? What did I do last year in the fourth quarter? Right? You want to do a year over year comparison. If you are not tracking your data, I always, we have this line here that we say to every client, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business.
Mm-hmm.
Because the numbers, as we've talked about over the last couple months chatting together, is you have to understand the data because the data really points you in the right direction of what decision you should be making. So, year over year comparisons to make sure that you understand what type of business flow you can anticipate. And so, from that one exercise, that helps a trickle down effect of if we know how much we did last year and we look at how much we've grown this year, that allows us to understand how much product or inventory do I need going into this fourth quarter? How many team members do I need going into
Mm-hmm.
this fourth quarter? Should I extend my hours? Should I be open, longer days or more days of the week? It gives you a lot more insight when you just look at data. You don't have to fly blind. And so it's one of those things where lots of businesses have the software, they're using some kind of CRM or EMR, and they're not really utilizing it. And so we definitely encourage going into the fourth quarter right now. In the month of September, this is kind of crunch time for data. I know it's not like the sexy part of
Interesting.
business,
No, no,
but
no, I
you
get
really
it.
want to crunch those numbers, right? And even, when you say as a consumer, you're ready to get back into the spa, you're ready to purchase a package, you're ready to do those things, your your buying behaviors are very similar to other buying behaviors.
Yeah,
And so if we're not really looking at data, what if you go and you can't get service because they don't have enough providers, or you have to now wait 4 weeks to get in when really you want to start right now because you
so
have
true.
your own personal timeline of like, I wanted these treatments done
Mm-hmm.
by the end of the year.
Yeah,
So you really want to look at those things as a business owner and truly take it seriously. And you can break it down to things like price point. A lot of people look at price point right now. Should I be increasing my price point coming in Q1 of next year? So you want to, again, review the data and see what are my best sellers? What is my profit margin? What is my profit in dollars per hour or my revenue per hour? Then you want to look at the service mix as well. How many of each type of service did I sell? What is
yeah.
popular or not popular? Look at the marketing that you spent money on. Did it actually work? Did I get an ROI? Did I get an uptick in buying behaviors for those particular things that I was marketing? You want to look at employee evaluations. This is also a scary one for many people. as we close the year, a lot of evaluations are happening in the fourth quarter as well. We want to see how has the team been productive and have they been reaching their goals and their
Yeah,
productivity and their performance, and where are the gaps and opportunities for us to continue to develop our team members.
so true.
So there's a lot going on, I think, in the month of September if you can plan it well so that you don't feel that in the busiest time when people do have that propensity to buy, that you're not prepared. And it's just a big missed opportunity. So we try to really push people. We actually start pushing in July to say, you have to be looking at these numbers. But this is not that you can't look after September, but
Yeah,
we really like to plan ahead so that you have a competitive advantage. I mean, think about all of that data entry and data reading that I just spoke about. I haven't even spoken about your marketing strategy,
yeah.
right? When you review all of those numbers, then you've got to create a marketing strategy that will help to fuel what you want to earn or how you want your business to perform. So imagine it might take a couple weeks, if not a month, to really go through all your data, get
Yeah.
budgets together, do all of the analysis, and then you need to plan a robust marketing strategy as well, which also takes weeks in itself.
I
And
could
so that's why,
imagine.
right? And so that's why if you can use the month of September to really review data and look at what do I need to put in place and the actions that I need to take or my team needs to take, what marketing that I need, what people I might need to hire, how I'm going to price these products or position these services. This is all happening, I think, in the next 6 weeks. So it is kind of crunch time.
Oh my goodness, it really is. And let me ask you now, I mean, this is your busy, busy season, right? And
Yes.
would you say, from September to what is the busiest from like November or even the holidays?
The holiday, so straight through, I would say about mid-October. So in terms of the clients that we serve, so med spas, aesthetic practices, they are typically busy come mid. So I would say in and around Halloween, like mid-October to Halloween is when it really starts to kick up. And then it's like these service providers don't come up for air until January. It's really, so if you yourself, right, if you're interested, you need to get your appointments now and lay them all out just to make sure that you have your appointments secured. But typically, if you are a practice that is growing and thriving and doing well, sometimes you will be 2 months booked out ahead at this point in the season. So yeah, it's kind of crunch time and getting your marketing together as well, just to make sure that your funnel is full for the rest of the year.
So true. All right. Well, let's remind everyone with our spot business coach how we can contact you.
Yes, contact us on all of the socials, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. We are at the Spa Business Coach.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Well, what else did you have in mind for us today? By the way, just want to point out you're working with clients all over. You are based out of Toronto, Canada, but as we know, Eric MacNeil, she is virtually able to work anywhere, and she has,
Yes.
which is great. And this is an amazing business that you're in, and I know you've been involved in the med spa aesthetic field for so many years, and with great leadership, with great testimonials and great clients. You really have proven a very successful track record. Hence, you're still here and you're going
Yes.
strong. And just
Yes.
curious, I would love to hear just, anything in particular from a current owner that you're working with who really are grateful for the services you've done. Because people out there might say, well, I'm not sure I could afford a coach at this point. What would really be the value in it? So it's always good to hear, some of your personal
Yeah.
stories if you don't mind.
Yeah, I love that question, Jill, because people do see coaching as an expense and not an investment sometimes. And so, one, it's like, what is the mindset around your personal growth or your business growth? And if your mindset is that you don't want to invest in yourself, you have to imagine if you hold that mindset, it might actually also be hard for you
Yep.
to get clients in your med spa because maybe they don't want to invest in you. So,
Yeah.
number one is mindset. But when I think about a few clients that we have that have been with us for a long time, one of them in particular, and it's so interesting because I get these DMs on Instagram all the time that are like, hey, I would love to work with you someday when I can afford it. And I always kind of like, I stop for a pause because I'm like, okay, Erin, deep breath here. because the mentality is that, or a lot of people when they approach us, they're like, this is going to be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a big cost to me, not realizing you don't know the best ways to run your business or make more money. And working with us, we teach you how to do that. So it's kind of like a poor person saying, like, I'm going to save up so that I can, learn how to, create a stock
Yeah.
portfolio. Right. It's like,
Like,
no,
wait,
you take your
what?
last five
Uh-huh.
bucks and put it in. Right. And that's how you start to get going. Right. Or your whatever it is. So I had this person reach out to me and say, Erin, when we're thinking of working with you in the new year after the high season so that we'll have enough money to afford it. And I said, but the point
Wait,
of us
uh-huh.
working together would be that we teach you how to make money now
Yep.
so that affordability isn't even something on your mind. It is just something that you can afford because you've actually learned the art of making sales, retaining clients, doing lead generation, and really running your business well. So, why would you wait 4 months to be successful when you can do it right now? And so, sometimes it just means having that conversation around, well, you have no issue putting,
Mm-hmm.
a handbag on your credit card, and that's not helping your
Very
business grow,
true.
right?
Very
And
true.
so it's just a matter of sometimes chatting with someone in a way to make them see that this is really a better investment. And so we've got clients. I have a client. She's a longstanding client. When she first started working with us, she came to me and she's like, my goal, my dream is to have multiple
Mhm.
locations. I want $1 million business. And so 3 years later, she had one med spa, a team of four, and she was doing on average, let's say around, it was under about 500K a year because it was
Oh,
about 30,000 to 45,000 a month.
okay.
Now her business, 3 years later, she has two locations, a team of 15, and her business does
I love,
almost 2 million.
I can't, I love, that's what I love these stories. Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Impressive.
Right. And so, I mean, so for her, she knew what her goal was. We have other
Yeah.
clients that came to work with us and for different reasons, right? And another client that came to us, she already had a multi-million-dollar practice, but the problem was she really wasn't getting any profitability. So she was really seeing that revenue come in and she had no problem with sales. But on the back end, how she was running the business, she was a
Yep.
slave to that business because it wasn't really paying her. She had almost no profitability. So when you look at a 7 figure a year revenue, you should have a multi 6 figure profit. She only had a 5 figure profit.
Got
So
it.
after 1 year, working together, she went from, I think, the first year we worked together, she only had about $50,000 in profit. To the next year, she had 250,000 in profit.
Amazing. Amazing.
Right. And so we always ask our clients, if you go back in time, like, was it worth the investment? And so what a lot of our clients tell us is, yeah, I got my investment back within the
And then
first month,
some.
2 months. Yes, of course. Well, and that's why we do coaching is because
Yeah.
we are giving you a skill set so that you don't have to work with us forever. I don't want you to feel like you have to rely on us. That's more like what I would say is more for consultants as they would go in and kind of do the work for you or fix things
Mm-hmm.
and then leave. Whereas I'm really trying to teach you how to be a CEO. How do you look at numbers? How do you do the leadership thing? How do you run an operation so that after our time together, you feel really confident to grow and scale your business.
So true. Well, thank you for sharing that. We
Yeah.
love hearing these positive stories. And here today, you're joining us now during your busy season. My goodness. And do you have any more conferences coming up? What's happening in the business right now? Where are you headed next?
So for us right now, we don't have any more conferences
But
for
do
the
you have a
rest of the
vacation,
year.
personal vacation
I
coming
do.
up? Yeah, that's
I
what
have
it
a
is.
personal vacation coming up, which I'm trying to squeeze in before high season really starts. And so all of our clients are aware that, hey, I'm going to be away for the next 2 weeks, but I do have a team in place. So they'll be there to answer any coaching questions. And all of my one to one coaching clients are already topped up and they know that they can push that 911 button with me if they need to and message me if they're having a crisis. But we've got a team here that is taking care of all of the clients. But of course, I'm trying to get my vacation in before
And
I
where are you
know that
going
there will be
again?
a
Can you
lot.
tell us? Can you share?
I'm headed off to Spain, so I can't wait. It's my first time going to Spain. I've been to Italy before. And whenever I'm on these trips, I also check out what wellness and what spa opportunities there are in new places. So I usually always try out the spas, I try out the services. I like to pick up different little touch points and I want to see, how is the industry running over here? In a different place, are these med spas doing anything different or what is their approach to
Yeah.
sales? So I like to visit a few just so I can get an idea of how things are done there so that as this brand expands and we're growing, I want to be able to serve more markets and be able to reach people where they're at. So I do like to check it out. It's a vacation, yes, but I always do what we call market research
Of
whenever
course.
I'm away.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Also, we still have more time left in our show today. What else did you want to get across to potential clients out there about the work that you're doing and how you can help them achieve even more success?
Yeah, it's so one of the biggest things that I felt really validated by from the conference was that a lot of the injectors that are in this industry, they really do recognize that they're not business people and that there's only a certain level that they can grow their practice before they really need help or before they really feel like, okay, I want to grow this or I see some traction here and I want to keep that momentum going and I don't want to stall out or get stuck. And so they are more willing to reach out for help. That's usually the injectors. But just to remind people that you don't know what you don't know. And if you are courageous enough to be a business owner, you are now signing up to be a forever student. And it's totally okay if there's something that you don't know, because if you didn't go to school or you
So
don't have
true.
previous experience, how else would you know? And I know a lot of clients, when they first come to us, they feel a bit ashamed that they
Hmm.
should know more. But we always remind them, listen, you didn't go to business school. You went to nursing school or you went and
Yeah.
got your MD or you
Yeah.
went to aesthetic school or you were taking courses around lights and lasers. So it's nothing to feel shameful about that. We're here to help you and give you that skill set to become that robust business owner. So a lot of people, sometimes it's hard for them to admit that they need help, one, or
Isn't it
two, that they've
always?
opened a practice and all of a sudden they're like, wow, I really don't know what I'm doing. And maybe I'm the problem, right? It's hard to admit when you're the person that is making your business stay stuck.
True.
And for some owners, right, it might take years to really realize that, oh, geez, I'm really in my own way here. So we invite people to, talk to us. If you have questions, reach out. We always do complimentary discovery calls. Even if you have questions about where your
Love it.
business is at or the viability, or, if you have bigger goals and visions for your business and you're not quite sure if that will work, or, we do that because anyone who works with us, we want to make sure, number one, you feel confident and comfortable that we're the right coach for you. Obviously, it's just like anything, right? Like we're not for everyone, not
Yeah.
everyone is for us, but also that at the very least, you have left that conversation with either value
Yep.
or a direction so that you don't feel lost. And, just to end off, the reason why I started this business was because
Yeah.
I was that person who
Person.
felt ashamed that I didn't have a business degree. I felt so ashamed my entire corporate career up until the very last couple years. I felt like I was supposed to have an MBA or I should have gone to business school. And so I carried a lot of shame around that like I didn't want anyone to know that I didn't go to school. Now I boast about it because if I can learn it, anyone can learn it. And our mission here, the vision that we have is taking ordinary people who are courageous enough to own a business, and we want to turn these ordinary people into extraordinary business owners, and that's our mission.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you here. And when do you leave for your trip, by the way?
In 2 days.
Okay, so I won't see you next week or the week after, right? So,
No.
well, I guess we'll be back in the height of it all then, come mid-September. My goodness. Well, enjoy your travels.
Thank you so
And
much.
God bless. Amazing time of the year and wishing you the best of luck. And please, people reach out and give her a call. Can't hurt to see how she can help you. And tell us
Yes.
again how we do that again, Erin. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find us on all the socials at the Spa Business Coach, or you can DM us or apply to book a call with us through the website at www.thespabusinesscoach.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure seeing you and that smiling,
Same.
beautiful face. Take care of your skin in Portugal. Wait, and Spain, wherever you're going. Wait,
Yes.
is it sunny there at this time of year? Or is it like
Yes. It's still
fall?
warm.
It
It is
is.
still
All right.
warm. And so we're leaving the fall weather and we're taking a trip back into summertime.
Beautiful. Enjoy, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.